Hello YouTube, what's up? All set up in the audio world? Anyone who braved watching those videos? That was a little bit of trial and error for sure. And so today, how about a little bit of not just like can you daily the Ducati Streetfighter V2, but my temperature on my dash right now says it's 31 degrees Celsius. This is by a mile the hottest day of the year. So how about can you daily this with the exhaust underneath your seat at 31? Let's go check it out. So one thing that's going to be lucky today, there's actually no traffic because it's Saturday. I work short days on Saturday, but I do work Saturday, so doing my normal commute and no cars, it's so nice. Usually if I leave work between 4 and 5, there would be tons of cars everywhere, and I'm out here in the country, so pretty awesome view and nice ride for, you know, what should be basically a track bike. You just have to get used to revving this a little bit higher. You know, I'm just under 100 kilometers an hour right now, and this is on a secondary highway, but feels good, super comfortable. If you haven't watched my setup, I've got my bars rolled a little bit forward, my suspension in the rear is a little bit softer, went a little stiffer on the front to lift up my position a little bit, and this bike feels great. I went for a ride yesterday. Funny story, I lost a pair of glasses, so I was actually looking down the side of the road to see if I could find them where they fell out of my pocket. And I went for about a 4-hour ride, so no problem sitting in this all day. The wide seat is super comfortable. This is the standard seat. And really the only thing on these hot days, like I said, it's 30 degrees here, is the heat under the seat, but if you keep moving, it's pretty good. It's only when you stop that it kinds to be, you know, an ass, literally. The other thing with this bike too is, for the settings, if you wanted this to be super comfortable and you just wanted to have, you know, less engine braking and more traction control and more wheelie control, you can set all those things up. Just winding this up because one of my coworkers is behind me. But I ride in sport mode all the time. I love it. Other than when I have a passenger, my road setup is a little different just because, you know, the extra weight on the back. My daughter's, you know, a teenager, and so I don't like the engine braking so hard because she'll actually push up against my back. But otherwise, sport mode all day. I know you're looking at this, you're like, that's not a daily ride. Anyone who commutes in a city and you actually have to go on the freeway, this is a great freeway bike. I'm cruising in the mid 100s, let's say that. Super comfortable. Yeah, I put my head down with this windscreen to get out of the wind a little bit, but I could ride this all day. And it's not crazy power, so I don't feel like I should be going, you know, 300. But it's super fun. And so, kind of cruising in, you know, 4th or 5th, 6,000 RPM is kind of a cruising speed. Like say in 5th right now, just over 6,000, I'm over 140. And it really doesn't go bonkers till 9,000, so this feels like a very safe cruising speed. Soaks up the bumps even in my road setting, or my sport setting. And it's just fun. I never feel lacking like I used to on my Monster 937. It was always not quite enough power for the freeway. But this bike is great. I could do this all day. I keep saying that, I could do this all day. So what I would say about commuting, we're going to hit some traffic up here because there's some construction. is if you've got some freeway and you like to wind it up on the way to work or on your daily commute, Streetfighter all day, and hot temperature, high 20s, 30 degrees. At cruising speed, I feel totally fine, not hot at all. Let's go get it. So just heading through this bridge construction here. The one thing I would say, you know, since I was just riding the R1250R, is this bike, where that Boxer, you would be riding that 1250, you know, at 2500 or 3000 RPM. This bike, even in construction zone, slow, you know, slow moving, like I'm in second at 5000 RPM, going 60. And so you just have to wrap your head around that. And for people who ride fast all the time, 5,000–6,000 for cruising is actually pretty mellow. If you're not used to this kind of bike and you're just getting into the V2, get ready to rev it out. You're going to have to rev it high. Just for the engine to be comfortable. I mean, this bike wants to fly. So, fair warning, you're going to need some revs. But even here at 60 or 70, you guys can probably hear the engine noise. It's not bad. And then I'm a couple hundred yards here. I'm going to wind it up once we're out of this zone. And that's where the bike comes alive. So like I said, if you've got some freeway in your daily ride, this is so fun. One thing while I'm cruising here at a pretty good speed, you can see this angle. I'm down definitely a little bit. I'm just putting my helmet where it's underneath the airflow from my visor. So just with a little bit of bend in the elbow, I can have the air from this bike running right over my helmet. And I actually couldn't figure that out in the 1250R. Or before this with my Monster 937. It basically had a little tiny fairing on the, basically on the dash. And it did nothing. So this is decent cruising speed. Had no air sitting in my helmet. Just literally the top of my head. What about traffic? So I'm still on the freeway. There's a lot of cars here. One thing people really don't recognize or maybe don't know about the Streetfighter, it's actually shorter wheelbase than the Monster. And so it's really snappy. If I want to dodge cars and just blast through traffic, it's actually a lot more nimble than the Monster was, just with 150 horsepower. Love this bike. Thanks, people getting out of the way. See if this guy sees me. Yeah. So other than just blasting down the freeway and telling you how awesome this is and how quick it is and how simple it is to go fast, are there drawbacks? So I'm sitting in traffic now. I'm at the lights. Our lights are long because our roads are usually 5 or 6 lanes where I'm commuting. And sitting on this seat with the exhaust right under my seat definitely warms up quick when you're sitting still. On the freeway, I'm riding like 70s or maybe 80 degrees in the engine temp. Now I'm at, quickly, as soon as I stopped, 98. Once it's over 100, I'm definitely feeling it. The other thing, which is kind of sideways, is if you ride fast, you're going to use fuel. And so liters per 100, I could be in the 13–14 range if I'm riding, you know, 160, 200. And so that's kind of, you know, defeating the purpose of any thoughts of fuel economy on these bikes. There's no fuel economy. I'm using more gas basically than my truck, which is kind of crazy. So I commute about 65 kilometers there and back every day, and that is actually my gas light just went on in 2 trips. So at about 120 I'll see my gas light, and if I'm really bombing I can actually run out of gas at 160. And so 160 kilometers range is pretty brutal. But you know, back to the you're riding a track bike, this is really a Panigale, you know, in the naked clothing. So here's what it is. I ride fast. That said, the tank is 17 liters, so I'm not using a ton of fuel, but I basically do need to fill up every 2 days just to be safe and make sure I don't run out of fuel, because drawback number 2, there is no gas gauge on a V2. And that's Streetfighter or Panigale, no gas gauge. Sorry about that. That's just old school life for anyone who rode dirt bikes and older bikes. Like I rode bikes even like 70s and 80s. Only my big cruising bikes actually had a gas gauge at all, so get used to it. You know, mark your mileage so you know how far you're at. And, you know, just give the fuel light some credit. If you're riding fast and the fuel light comes on, yeah, you probably got about 60 or 70k left. Maybe a little bit more if you take it easy. But that's, you know, Street Fighter life. And that, my friends, brings me to the gas station. Thanks for watching. I know this is not your usual, you know, can you daily this bike, but that's the way I ride. Thanks for watching. See you again all soon. Now the question is, did I bring my wallet? Oh, earn luck. Just if you're curious, gas in Canada, premium right now, $1.89 a liter. Regular 87 is $1.56. And depending on where you're from, our premium is 93 octane, so not the highest, but gets the job done. So remember air miles? If you don't know, in Canada, if you use air miles and hook it up to your payment card at Shell, and you know, go Ferrari, Shell usually has the best fuel, you actually save 7 cents a liter. So that brought me down to 1.81.9. No, I think I went about 120 kilometers for the Can You Daily Your Street Fighter. Let's see how much that cost me. There we go. $16.36, about 9 liters. It's about half a tank where my warning came on, so it's about $8 a trip. That's not so bad. About the same as 2 bus tickets. So believe it or not, just did the quick math, it was just about 130 kilometers on just under 9 liters. And so that's about 7 liters per 100. Reminder, yesterday I was driving super slow down the highway for about 30k, looking for some glasses. I probably didn't tell you the sad glasses story. I lost my brand new prescription glasses. They were tucked in my pocket. And 3/4 of the way, like almost to work, I remembered, and they were gone. And they were very expensive, so that's that. But if I drive half like a dummy and half normal, 7 liters, that's almost double my fuel mileage that I had the other day just driving like a Yahoo. So pretty good. And sitting here right now, the bike is still 98 degrees. My butt's pretty hot. It's the only drawback. In Canada here, it's quite cold. And so normally in the fall and the spring, the warm seat in the mornings and later nights are actually nice. It's kind of a heater. And I did add the heated grips onto this bike too, so added comfort. If you want some, you can still add some. That's all for now. Thanks again. See y'all again soon. I'll probably do the same on the ES700 and see, hey, what's that like? And I'll drive that in some proper traffic, because the V2 is really for freeway cruising, dodging cars, twisties. And the other bike is a dual sport, but gets super gas mileage and doesn't mind slow riding. So let's check that out next time. Ride safe. See y'all soon. Thanks, y'all. Be one of those courteous bikers where I actually wait for traffic instead of dodging out in front of them. So I've been riding for about, I don't know what, it's been like 1 minute. Sitting still, the heat's up to 102. I don't feel it on my legs at all, just on my butt. Now let's get out of this traffic. I take it back, there is Saturday traffic. I think that's a city bylaw car in front of me, so just take it easy here. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. There's probably when the next light goes and the people go straight. There's a dude here on one of those tri-bikes, like a Can-Am or something, in cut-off jean shorts and a cut-off t-shirt. And of course the helmet with the mini visor and no face. Okay, here he comes, watch this. Maybe three-wheelers are more like cars, I don't know. That's just dumb. I guess the real question is, can you daily or can you commute these bikes? What would you rather commute on when it's 29 or 30 degrees and it's a beautiful day? Sitting in my truck with leather seats? I don't think so.